Did you ever had that eerie feeling that someone or something was watching you? You're not alone. Before we uncover the terrifying truth, like this video and comment your location. Let's step into the shadows together. I was 32 when this happened, and it's the reason I never ever take shortcuts anymore, no matter how much time they might save. I was driving from Seattle to my sister's wedding in San Francisco. I should have flown, but I had this romantic notion of a scenic coastal drive. Little did I know that this decision would lead me into a nightmare I'm still trying to understand. I was making good time until I hit a massive traffic jam just north of the Oregon-California border. Cars stretched as far as the eye could see, barely moving. As I sat there, inching forward, I noticed a dusty road sign partially hidden by overgrown bushes. Scenic route, 50 miles shorter. Under normal circumstances, I would have ignored it, but I was already running late, and the thought of sitting in traffic for hours was unbearable. So, against my better judgment, I took the exit. At first, the road seemed normal enough. It wound through dense forests, the trees pressing close on either side. But as I drove deeper into the woods, things began to change. The trees seemed to grow taller, their branches reaching over the road like grasping fingers. The sunlight filtering through the leaves took on a sickly green hue. I tried to distract myself by turning on the radio, but all I got was static. Even my cell phone showed no signal. I was completely cut off. As the road continued to wind and twist, I realized I had no idea how long I'd been driving. My watch had stopped, and the car's clock was blinking 12:00, as if it had been reset. The gas gauge, which had been nearly full when I turned off the highway, was now hovering near empty. Panic started to set in. I considered turning back, but I had no idea how far I'd come or how to find my way back to the main road, so I pressed on, hoping to find a town or at least a gas station soon. That's when I saw her. A young woman was standing on the side of the road, her thumb out in the universal sign for hitchhiking. She was pale, with long dark hair that obscured most of her face. Something about her made my skin crawl, but I was desperate for help or at least directions. I slowed down, rolling down my window. "Are you okay?" I called out. "Do you need help?" Slowly, she turned to face me, and that's when I realized why she had seemed so off. Where her eyes should have been, there were only empty, black sockets. I screamed and slammed on the accelerator, but the car sputtered and died. In my rearview mirror, I could see the woman walking towards me, her movements jerky and unnatural. With shaking hands, I tried to restart the car. It coughed and wheezed but wouldn't turn over. The woman was getting closer. I could hear a sound now, a low, guttural moan that seemed to come from all around me. Just as her hand touched the back of the car, the engine roared to life. I floored it, tires squealing as I sped away. But no matter how fast I drove, every time I looked in the rearview mirror, she was there, always the same distance behind me. The road seemed to go on forever, twisting and turning through the endless forest. Day turned to night, then back to day, but still, I drove on. I don't know how long it went on. Hours, days, weeks. Time had lost all meaning. Finally, just as I was about to give up hope, I saw something ahead. A break in the trees, and beyond it, the glimmer of sunlight on water. With a final burst of speed, I broke through the tree line and found myself back on the coastal highway, merging into traffic as if nothing had happened. I pulled over at the first rest stop I saw, my hands shaking so badly I could barely turn off the ignition. According to my phone, which was working again, only 2 hours had passed since I'd taken the shortcut, but the car's odometer showed I'd driven over 500 miles. As I sat there, trying to make sense of what had happened, I noticed something in the passenger seat, a single, long, dark hair, and next to it, a small scrap of paper with words scrawled in an unsteady hand. "Thanks for the ride." I've never told anyone this story before. Who would believe me? But sometimes, when I'm driving at night, I'll catch a glimpse of something in my rearview mirror, a pale face with empty eye sockets, watching me from the back seat. And I'll hear that low, guttural moan, warning me to never take shortcuts again.